We thought that we were cured from evil, from hatred, and from corruption. We thought we were civilized. We thought that we were living in a world which believed in peace and harmony and equality for all. Tragically, October 7th has shaken us from our slumber and showed us otherwise. In this speech, I'd like to share with you Israeli politician Golan, who is Israel's Minister for Social Equality and Women's Empowerment, schools the United Nations on women's rights. Take a look at this. It's jarring.
We gather here today to mark 30 years since the Beijing Declaration, a milestone of hope, a moment etched in history. 30 years ago, the world came together and pledged in Section 29 to prevent and eliminate all forms of violence against women and girls. It was a noble promise, a steering commitment that echoed through the halls of that conference. The leaders of nations stood tall and declared their resolve, or so they said. I stand before you today not just as a voice for my people, but as a voice for every girl whose dreams have been crushed by brutality, every woman whose dignity has been stripped away, every mother whose last breath was a cry for her child. I stand here for the victims you've ignored, the ones whose suffering you've excused because it didn't fit your narrative. It seems some were left out of that memo. Boko Haram didn't get the update, the Taliban must have missed the call, Hamas apparently didn't hear the news. These groups, subhumans in their cruelty, were somehow exempt from the world's grand proclamation. And honestly, I don't accept humanity from those monsters. My expectations lie elsewhere. My wrath is for you, the UN, with your hollow resolutions and selective blindness, abandoning Christian girls, Jewish women, and Muslim children who dare to dream beyond oppression. UN officials explained these rapes did not occur without context. UN officials are spokespeople for gang rapists. UN officials are advocating for terrorists. Let me take you back a year and a half ago. A swarm of vile creatures invaded the sovereign land of Israel. They unleashed a systematic campaign of rape. Girls, teenagers, women, violated in the most unimaginable ways. Women were found with dozens of nails driven into their genitals, breasts hacked off, gang rape while surrounded by the demon's laughter, stabbed and violated as children hid in the closet for 14 hours, like in the Holocaust. Mothers gang raped in front of their screaming children, their bodies desecrated again and again. Babies wailing, pleading for murderers to stop torturing their mothers, only to watch them butchered, then murdered themselves. Their corpses paraded by fiends who grinned with their own kids in tow. This is the hell you ignore, the United Nations. You dare to call these beasts human? Demand aid for them? Humanitarian aid for inhuman? Your shame drowned in your cowardice long ago. My people know your silence. Your betrayal stinks of history's rot. We won't beg your useless counsels for help. We will shield our own. Do you know what it sounds like when a child begs for his mother's life? Do you know what it feels like to watch the world turn away? My people do. And we will not wait for your approval to act. We will not beg for your compassion. We will protect our own because no one else will. And let me say this. Other civilized nations would do well to join us in this effort before this plague creeps into their own backyards. Rape gangs already roam the streets of Europe, cloaked under the banner of political correctness. Some nations have chosen to commit cultural suicide, sacrificing their daughters on the altar of accepting the other. Yes, we should accept the other, but not monsters, never monsters. And you, the mighty and also moral UN, your inaction breeds this plague. So I ask you today, will you honor the promise you made 30 years ago? You penned that pledge. Where's your fire? Will you enforce it or let it fester in your paper-pushing complicity soaked in innocent blood? I promise you all, from the river to the sea, Jewish women will be free. Am hanetzach lo mefached miderech aruka. Thank you very much.
Wow. What a passionate speech. And did you notice the woman next to her who couldn't stop playing with her phone, unmoved by these words that only a stone-hearted individual would be able to miss? The prophet Isaiah assures us, he promises us, that in the era of redemption, in the era of Mashiach, the purpose for which this world was created, the wolf shall lie with the lamb. We will live in a state of peace, of prosperity, where there will be no more war, there will be no more hatred, there will be no more competition. There will only be love and awareness of God and divine consciousness in the entire world around us. Perhaps what we are witnessing right now is the final hurrah of evil. Have you ever seen a person pass away? As a rabbi, I can tell you that I've been there. And it's a very sobering moment. And I often find that there's something called the final rally, the last rally, where a person is descending and descending in strength. And suddenly the family will call me and say, Rabbi, mom is doing great today. She opened her eyes, she communicated. And I always fear that perhaps this is her last rally before the soul leaves the body. You'll find the same thing with a candle. That a candle, when it's on the way, as it's flickering out, as it's about to burn out, and its last dying breaths, it will rise up before it goes out forever. And hopefully, perhaps, the evil, the apathy, the dissonance that we see all around us in the world's blindness and deafness to the rights of Jewish women and children, is perhaps the last hurrah of evil before that era of redemption, that era of peace with the coming of Mashiach. May it happen very, very soon. Amen.